Hello, welcome back. In the course of our host-based attack tutorials, we'll be talking about a vulnerability that is known for the Windows system, which is the EternalBlue vulnerability. So others, if you check our channel, you are going to see others host-based attack methodology or exploits that we've actually discussed. So this is the EternalBlue. What you really need to know about EternalBlue? It's actually has a CVE number of MS-17 because it was known to the public in 2017, and this is the particular CVE that was given to it. So it's a name given to the vulnerability connection, allow attacker to remotely connect to arbitrary code and gain access to a Windows system. Consequently, the network target system is part of the network. So the EternalBlue exploit was developed by the Cybersecurity agency to take advantage of the MS-17 vulnerability and was linked to the public by an hacker group called the Shadow Broker in 2017. The EternalBlue exploit takes advantage of vulnerability windows. The SMB protocol allows attacker to send a specifically crafted packet and consequently validated the execution of arbitrary commands. So the EternalBlue is a vulnerability that affects multiple Windows versions. It affects the Windows Vista down to the Windows 10, and also the Windows Server 2008 down to 2008, 2012, and the 16. So this EternalBlue was used in WannaCry ransomware attack in June 2017, and also in March 2017, the Windows actually released a patch to actually tackle this vulnerability. And if you're someone that doesn't install patches, you need to put them as one of your practices to install patches and save yourself from being attacked or being used as a scapegoat. So the EternalBlue vulnerability is to exploit vulnerable Windows system and provide privileged access to the server. So there is a particular exploit on GitHub repository that actually talks about this particular exploit. We don't have a vulnerable Windows system in our network right now, but I can show you the processes of how this is being done. We have share my screen. Yes, this is my kernel Linux environment, and this is the GitHub repository that talks about the exploit. You need to, when you go to GitHub, you can search for this, the endgame to blue. So this is a script that is being used, written in Python, that is being used to exploit the EternalBlue. Though we don't have any system that is vulnerable to EternalBlue, so we cannot specifically run this, but I can walk you through how you can use this exploit code for this execution. So we have, this is the requirement. You have to install the Python tool, and these are the documents that are very necessary for you to be able to use. So, this is the EternalBlue checker. All are written in Python, and we have the exploit for Windows 8, Windows Server, Windows 8, we have for Windows 7, and we have for Windows 10. We have the listener. So all you do is you just do a GT clone, and if you want to install it, probably if you need it, you just do git clone, and the code, you can also see it here if you cannot type. So this is it. And you copy it and you run it on your terminal and be able to download. But for me, I have it already installed, downloaded on my environment. So if you want to check this directory, we do EternalBlue MS17 010. So if you list, you see all this document there. So even we can run the listener, though we are not really going to do much because we don't have a vulnerable system here. So, but if you want to perform, I'm just walking you through how to perform, how to use this exploit. So if you run a listener, you set your arrows. When you go to you go to your terminal, then you do ifconfig. Then this is the IP address of this machine, of this our VM, 10.0.2.15. So when you are needed to list your arrows, this is what you are going to use. So you do 10.0.2.15. So for a port for reverse connection, we can use whatever ports. And for reverse connection for x86, then you can use the same port number. So are you going to use Metapreter or regular share CMD? Then you choose one. Then for the payload, we choose one. You ask for admin access. We log in. Sorry. So we have the admin access now and it start to run. And it also uses the Metasploit. So when it runs, we have access to the listener. You should when you have the listener and where to perform this act. So we can also check for EternalBlue because you will need this script to perform these operations. So let's go to EternalBlue again. So when you install it, you have your exploits, Windows 10, Windows 7, all in the fresh file, but you have to change the modification of the particular exploit you want to use. In order for it to be usable, you need to change the modification and give it an access. And enter the name of this particular, but we've done it for Windows 7. And this is how we go into it. So when that is done, you have to use the shell. You have to go into the shell code first. After that, so because you have the list of the combined shell that you will use for this particular exploit, we have shell, prep, or sh. So we need to run this as batch. So the same, you need to compile the code and give it access as a reverse shell, and you accept yes. You're going to also set that particular IP 10.2.10.0. 2.15. In your case, it can be different, and it's going to be definitely be different because we don't have the same IP address. You set the password 1, then 1. So he is going to launch us into the Metasploit variable where we can perform this section. So for the listener, see now, he has given us the bin to use. So in some cases, you will have the S64 or yes, S64. So when I want to do it, you do Python, EternalBlue. We have to go back to the previous directly and do Python EternalBlue exploit. You do the exploit 7.py because that's wanted to use, and you specify the IP address. Then we are going to use that shell code. The one that is relevant to this. In the list, we have different version of binaries, and you will select the one that is, this is the one that is available. Then you select SC x86.bin. Then you launch. So after you launch, before you launch, you open another instance where this particular exploit will be listening on, which is you do netcat and then the IP address I will be listening on. And we'll be listening on this particular port number. So this is how to walk you through the method on how you can use EternalBlue repository to perform. It's not going to perform because we don't have this particular we don't have this particular vulnerability on the system. So these are the ways you can use this particular repository in your own system to perform this code. And if you don't have the requirement, you can install the requirement. We have for Python 2, we have for Python 3, and there is also tutorial videos that can be used to go through this process. Though this video is enough for you to be able to go through how to exploit the EternalBlue vulnerability using this particular exploit code. And this fashion is prepared in a way where you can exploit the EternalBlue without Metasploit. Option for auto shell generation, to generate shell code with MS Venom that has Metapreter. There are different ways for that. So that is all about EternalBlue and how you can particularly leverage on it and exploit it. But as someone that is a defender, you need to install patches on your system from Windows 2017 and Windows Server. And this will be remediated. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.